Yo, what's good, y'all? MJ here. MJ the greatest on Instagram and Twitter. Back with this week's video. Just want to shout you guys out again for watching, liking, commenting, supporting, subscribing, all of that. It's just been dope. But no long intro. I just want to say I appreciate you guys and shout out for watching. Anyways, last week I was talking about left brain, right brain, which is basically to sum it up, just like your creative side and your business side. So I felt like that kind of again led right into this week's topic, which is creative style. What is my creative style like? How do I create things like that? Because basically, and I think I said this in the video last week, but it's like before you can even begin to create, you got to tap into your creative style, and then you can kind of go from there. But then when you look at it and you boil it down, it's like, what even is that? What is your creative style? How do you get to that point? And I feel like it just comes from all of your life experiences and the things you went through, the things you grew up watching, the things you grew up looking at, listening to, hearing other people say, what movies you watched, like all the things you consumed. I feel like all those things in combination is what gives you your own personal creative style. Like I know for me personally, like I gotta speak to like my brother, like I got an older brother, like shout out my bro. I know I got a lot of style from him growing up, just him being older and you know what I'm saying, being able to get his hands on stuff way before I could even know what it was called. I just knew like, okay, that was hard or that looked cool. And then it's like the music I was listening to at the time that I was kind of coming into my own, like a lot of ASAP, definitely a lot of Kanye, a lot of style from like Pharrell, and then you got your city and like cultural influences like what you around. Being from Cleveland, I mean we kind of like a mixed bag of a lot of different things, so like you gonna see a lot of different styles, and I was seeing a lot of different styles, but I don't know, I kind of had more like a style that I felt more like was could kind of be like assimilated with like a New York. Like I was more attracted to their kind of fashion and their kind of style, and I would go there a lot when I was kind of growing up, like high school. I need to go back soon. Shout out New York. But I would go there a lot, and I kind of got a lot of my sense of style and just how they did things. I don't know. It's an essence about New York that's just, it's not like anywhere else I traveled to in terms of like fashion and culture in that way. So I feel like those sort of life experiences and just traveling, like I feel like traveling a lot allows you to have an open mind and just see different things, see different cultures, just realize all the different things going on around you. When you travel, it's just I feel like you literally breathing in that like new breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever you going in, like you kind of getting to take that in. And as somebody that's like a creative or an artist in any kind of way, I feel like the more new experiences you can have that are positive, obviously the better, because that just only helps you grow and allows you like you got more things to draw from, you got more stuff to go over, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like creating, because you can't create from like an empty place, I don't feel like. And none of, I mean, as long as you are living life, I don't feel like any of us are empty. Like you have, everybody has things they went through, everybody has stuff they like experienced or did, so it's like none of us are truly coming from an empty place. But I guess it's more just like accessing that, you know, accessing that place. But it's not the easiest thing to do. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and act like it's just a switch you just flip off and on. I do think it's something that you can get in touch with and tune with, so it can be a switch that you flip off and on. You know what I'm saying? But that process is works different for everybody. I don't think it's one particular tried and true method to do anything. Like I think it's more than one way to do anything. So um finding that way for you is gonna look different than what it looked like for me. But I think it's worth the journey of going to try and then doing it, because it only opens you up to so much more. It's not like you're losing out on anything by finding out more about yourself or accessing more about yourself, you know? That was the same process that I had to go through, and in going through that process, I found out about myself that I was very closed off. I was super closed off. And what that means is it's funny because, like, I told y'all in like my first video about the story about Dirty Broke, I never thought or wanted, or not even, I don't know. It's like I never thought about having a clothing brand. It's funny because I was almost like the opposite kind of person. Like, what I mean is, like, when I would buy stuff and I would wear stuff and people would be like, "Oh man, that's dope. Like, where you get that from?" Like, I never to like I'm not telling you where I shop. Like, I'm not telling you where I got my jacket from. Like, I'm not telling you where I got my shoes from. Like, we all got the internet. We all got 24 hours in a day. Like, go find it. Like, nah, it's funny. I laugh because it's like I was really that kind of person of just like, I'm not telling you where I get my stuff. Like, I don't want you to dress like me. But that was just because I was so glued to individuality. But I didn't realize that that just meant that I have a good sense of style, that I have an eye, like I have an eye for fashion, and I do. And I kind of didn't embrace that my first funny, like, it's crazy. Like, I had a clothing brand for 2 years and I was not putting myself into it, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't using my own sense of unique style and putting that into the work, which is kind of, you can, like, you can even, I don't even know if you can imagine kind of how like counterintuitive that sounds when you're trying to create something. um I didn't start the clothing brand to be the richest person in the world. I started the clothing brand because I feel like I have an eye for fashion. I feel like I have dope ideas. I feel like I'm a dope designer, and I feel like I have something to bring to the table. I didn't do it because I felt like I was just gonna be 100 millionaire, and you know what I'm saying, off the bat. If that comes with it, great. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you do anything you love, the money will come with it as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. And I guess that's sort of kind of to sum up like what my style is now, or like what you'll just see from my work as it comes out, is it's just a feeling. Like, it's something that you look at it and you'll feel something. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because you're gonna feel whatever you feel, and that's what I want you to feel when you see it. Is your opinion, but you're gonna feel something. It's not just something you're just gonna look at and just kind of, glaze your eyes over. But it's something that's gonna evoke some kind of feeling. And it's not to say it's a bad one. It's not to say it's a good one. It's not to say it's any kind of thing like that. But it's something more than just, you know. So I've just been making sure, like, with the work I've been stacking up, all of it gives off something. It's something, and that's how I know it's, you know what I'm saying, like, one of the ones. Like, it's, I know it's one of the ones when I can feel something. You know what I'm saying? When you create something and it's just like, oh, it's okay. Maybe that's not, you know what I'm saying, like it, but when you create something and you can, like, oh, you had like, oh, that, oh damn moment, like, that's how you know you got one of them ones. But I think ultimately when it comes to creative style, sometimes I think that can be a little overinflated. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes you can put too much pressure on yourself as a creative to have like a creative style. Like, when I told y'all my creative style, or basically how I want my work to come off, as just a feeling, that's super broad. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean anything that I want people to feel like, you know what I'm saying? But that's, I feel like that's my style, you know what I'm saying? And when you see my work, you'll know what I mean by that. So I don't want, well, not even I don't want, I guess it's more like I don't like the fact that artists or creatives kind of sometimes have the pressure put on them to like have a certain style or fit into a specific mode or be this certain way. We all went through different things, so how could we ever create the same way? That just doesn't make any, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just look at it from the most basic understanding of how life works, we could never create the same way. We didn't go through the same things. So sometimes, not even sometimes, you got to just ignore those pressures, those outside pressures of trying to define you or define what your style is or what it should be. You know and can feel what that is, and it may evolve and or change as you continue to evolve and change and grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the biggest things is like, people act like you're not able to grow or change your mind after you get new information. That's not true. That's not true. Once you find new information, of course you can change. Of course you can grow. My bad. I felt like I was rambling for a little bit, but yeah, man. Just to like wrap up, I just feel like, let your creative style be what it is. Don't try to force yourself into a mold or a box or somebody's story or somebody's opinion of you, or, you know what I'm saying, anything. You can literally do whatever you want. But like I said, it took me 2 years into my clothing brand even to find my own creative style. So like I said, don't put pressure on yourself. Don't feel like it's something that you got to just have overnight or even a year. But I mean, you have to be willing to take the steps to go on that journey. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to you have to be able to be willing to walk that path. And like I said earlier in this video, like, our paths are all different. We all walked a different life. So however we arrive to that point, it's gonna be different. But I think it's worth it. Peace out, y'all.